The pause to tell. You can't spell loyalty without the L-A-L.
Welcome back to the Laker Loyalty Podcast and the tagline. Remember, you can't what?
Can't spell loyalty without the L.
That's what's up. I am one of your co-hosts, Jason Muse, a.k.a. the Black Muse. Bringing it to you, Samurai.
Egyptian Laker, a.k.a. Samurai the 7th, a.k.a. Sam 7.
And on to you,
Over
Alante.
Alante, Laker fan since 97, a.k.a. Sodam Ice Cold. I'm out here reporting live from Wilshire and Hoover. We actually got people out here hooping right now.
That's what's
This is like
up,
one
bro.
of the only places in LA where you can just randomly find somebody out here hooping.
Right?
Crazy.
That's lit, bro.
Welcome.
So,
For sure.
Middle of the city.
Yeah, bro. So I just wanna start off by naming that we really be out here in these streets. We be out here
Yes,
with
sir.
the people. But I actually want to hop into the very first topic right now. This is really interesting, really popping right now. The Lakers, the Los Angeles Lakers, are officially the 3rd seed. And as early as Wednesday, they could be the 2 seed. All they have to do is beat the Spurs. If they beat the Spurs tomorrow, they will be the 2nd seed. And just to make sure that I'm not BSing right now, I'm actually finna show y'all the proof. All right. You guys should be able to see, for the viewers, you guys should be able to see on the screen, these are the Western Conference standings. As you guys can see, the 1 seed is Oklahoma City. The 2nd seed is the Spurs, who we play tomorrow at 5-1, and the Lakers are the 3rd seed officially in the West at 6-2. Denver is coming up right behind us, and they're tied with Houston Rockets at 4-5 respectively. The 6th seed is the Timberwolves at 4-3. The Trailblazers at 7th, and the Golden State Warriors are the 8th seed, and then after that is the Clippers and the Phoenix Suns. So those are the seeds right now. Now, it's really, really early, and all of that can change. We're not delusional about it. We're not going to make it seem like that's the end-all, be-all, and the Lakers are going to stay the 3rd seed or higher for the rest of the season. But what we are noting is that just, 8 games in without LeBron James, and for a couple of games without Luka, and for at least 1 game without Reeves, the Lakers have become the 3rd seed anyway. And what does that portend for the Lakers? So I'm going to throw it to you guys with a question. The question is, given that the Lakers have officially got the 3rd seed after the first 8 games, do you guys expect the Lakers to maintain a 3rd or higher seed for the rest of the season? What are your expectations for the Lakers seeding for the rest of the season? Egyptian Laker, what do you think?
You know, happy we're at 3rd seed. Just like I've said all past month or two so far, I expect us to finish in the top 4. I know we were 3rd seed last year. I'm actually feel the team's kind of overachieved the past 8 games. I wouldn't say overachieved. Just I would have thought we'd maybe be 5-3, 6-2 is better than I expected. You know, I do like a lot of the guys we picked up, as we discussed in previous episodes. So to see us win, you know, especially since I was at one of the only 2 losses. I was technically at Staples and LA Live for both losses. LA Live for the first loss, and I was in the arena for the second loss.
The second one was Portland, right? The first time we played Portland?
Yeah, it was Portland, so I was really happy we got our win back last night.
You stay your ass at home.
Yeah.
I know,
I'm gonna do the
You
live
jinxed it
reporting
up,
from
bro.
here on out.
Yeah, so I don't know if we'll maintain the 3rd seed all season. I expect it to fluctuate, you know, go up and down. But like I said, when 82nd game is over, I expect us to be in the top 4. So I think it's good to start off this way. The team and the players have confidence now. So, you know, whether we fall a little bit in the standings, we know we can get right back up to it.
Bet. And then I'm going to bring it to you, So Damn Ice Cold, a.k.a. Alante, and I'm going to give you a little permutation on the question. Given that the first 15 to 20 games or so are the easiest part of the Lakers season, is it realistic to expect the Lakers to be a top 4 seed like Samurai is saying? Or does that change or modify your expectations at all?
Absolutely. We got Luka Doncic. Luka's been killing it. We won 2 games without Luka. Like,
that's true.
I'm really excited. And this goes back to one of my earlier takes where I said LeBron is one of my biggest question marks just because we haven't seen him. And now we see the team chemistry developing the way that it is. So it's just like, man, like we've been playing, we haven't been up to par. We can still improve defensively. But we can definitely get healthy right now. But man, given what we got right now, we can only make do with what we got. So I'm excited about it. I think we will maintain the seed. I predicted that we would be a top 3 seed. And so far, so good. Yeah,
Okay.
so far, so good.
Okay, well then I'm going to just go into where you kind of led us, Alante, because I think it's just a smooth place to do it. I do want to revisit the topic you talked about involving LeBron. What does the Lakers' early success without LeBron mean for LeBron returning? And how does LeBron fit in with this team as they're developing? Is LeBron likely to be a disruption to the team chemistry? Is LeBron more likely to be an enhancement of what the Lakers already built? Like, where do you fit in on that debate? Because I can imagine different factions within Laker Nation debating that. You got the LeBron stands who are like LeBron first no matter what. Then you got the anti-LeBron Laker purists who are like, no matter what LeBron does, it's always wrong. Where do you fall kind of in on that spectrum?
I think the Laker fans that don't like LeBron are kind of weird just because we always talk about the front of the jersey, not the back of the jersey. Although we do have people that we absolutely love that have donned the jersey. But it's like, come on, man. Like, it's all about team success at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And if people don't want to see it, if people don't want him to be a part of that, that's fine. But, I can't consider them Laker loyalists because what are we doing?
I don't want to give it a pejorative connotation, but there are people who are loyal to the Lakers, and then there are people who are loyal to LeBron. And sometimes they clash. I think you could be loyal to both without there being a contradiction. But to bring it to you, Samurai, what do you think about this kind of split between the Laker fan base, and where do you kind of stand on it?
Laker fans since birth, since I could see purple and gold. And those that know me know I've never been a big LeBron fan. A big fan of his when he was a rookie and came to the league, but then when he started jumping teams, when he came to LA, I was like, all right, let's see what happens. We rep the name on the front. We won a chip. Things are good. We've been decent the past few years. Obviously, there's a lot of times we get frustrated with him, just like we've gotten frustrated with any other player on our team throughout the history of the team. But it is funny seeing people be like, trade Bron now, or we don't need him. I'll be fair, and like, we can't say anything until he comes back. Now, if he comes back and chemistry gets all messed up, guys' usage rates are dropping like crazy. Like, if it's bad when he comes back, obviously the team will have to address that. Something will happen. But I don't think things are going to get bad when he comes back. I hope that in his older years and his wisdom, he's seeing this team being like, damn, I don't really have to do as much. I can win another championship and not have to play 40 minutes a game. I'm assuming that's what he's seeing, and he's excited about it. So like, I'm not going to be a critic of him in this year's roster until something actually happens. Of course, I want the team to win. He's on the team, so that means I need him to win. And we need a championship. That's always our standards. Especially since we just went back to back with the Dodgers 3 and 6 years. Now it's the Lakers' turn.
Let me show the people
I know
my
Bron
bling
sees
bling
that.
right here, Bray. Let's go.
Three of them.
So
I
I don't think anyone can say anything about what's going to happen. Now, in the past, I personally have been critical of LeBron on the Lakers with other people's chemistry, but nothing ever came out of anything from either him or the players I was defending, whatever. So, he's still here, so we still got to rock with who's on the team. And I'm happy to see Bronny starting to improve and get better. He had a great good game
Hey, that
yesterday.
lob, come on, that highlight was dope. That
Yeah,
lob
we're
was
gonna get to
dope.
that. We gonna get to that. As a matter of fact, we're gonna go to it right after you're done. Go ahead.
We'll go to
Samurai.
right now. So yeah, I'm done. I'm just saying let's see what happens when he comes back. Like, I'm not against trading LeBron, all that, or he's up to him at the end of the day. But let's see what happens when he comes back. Things can get even better. We might end up the first seed, if all things go well. Now, if things, like I said, get bad, and there is a correlation between him coming back and us like just being horrible all of a sudden, then yeah, obviously we'll address that when that happens. But I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah. Okay. This is something I actually have been meaning to get into, and I'm glad you brought that up because I probably would have forgotten. The historic element of Austin Reeves being one of the first people in NBA history to throw almost identical lobs to father and son as a Laker, both of them as Lakers. That's historic. You're not going to get that every other Tuesday. You're not going to get that even every other generation. And like, that's something that's so rare that we need to like admire that while it's happening. So I want to show the people what we're referring to. So go ahead.
I want to jump in, and it's funny because I was one of the first things that popped in my head. I was like, he got to be the first player ever to throw a lob to a father and son. And of course, that was shown all over social media. And of course, some haters like, oh, what are these crazy ESPN stats? Who follows that shit? Who follows that shit? That's common knowledge. Like, I don't have to research that shit. No one that threw an alley-oop to Del Curry threw an alley-oop to Steph Curry because they didn't play at the same time. Like,
and neither one of them motherfuckers could dunk for real.
Exactly.
Yeah, like that's
You ain't
That's
throwing
if we
another
go
out
element.
through
either one of them niggas.
if we
I'm
go through
sorry.
any father-son duo that played in the league, they played in different eras where the players that play with the dad for sure didn't play with the son. So that's a stat that's off the top of the dome. Like we don't even have to look that up. So for the
Didn't
haters
have to
that's
look
saying
it up.
like who keeps track of that stat, like you don't watch basketball, you've never played a day in your life, you don't know, you're a casual, like stop hating on my Lakers and Austin Reeves.
Yeah, don't
Play it,
not
Jason.
not
Play it.
too bad on
The people got
the
to see this.
casuals, bro. Man,
Well,
all
if they
right.
watch us,
So
they wouldn't be so casual. But continue.
I
Exactly.
agree. I agree. All right, let me. All right,
But you
so
got the side by side of the one LeBron, one Bronny.
yeah, I wanted to show
Yeah.
that
So,
because they look almost identical, and then I can show the play on the wider screen in a second. But here we go. You guys should be able to hear the sound. Here we go.
Taken by Reeves. Behind the back he goes. The line. Austin Reeves. What a
All right, so they look very, very similar, not just because of the way that they were set up and like the side of the basket that they were dunking on, but also they're like Bronny has a little bit of some like athletic mechanics that are similar to his dad. Now they're not exactly like his dad. He's not as tall. His dad has his own physique and all that, but they're similar. There's a remnant there, and I think that a lot of Lakers fans were really excited about that, and this really stamps that comparison. I'm gonna try to pull up another one that's a little bit bigger, but while I do that, in the meantime, I just want you guys to comment on the historic nature of this. Like, what are we witnessing in real time to you guys? We can start with you, Samurai,
We're
or
no,
whoever.
Lante,
Whoever
you go.
doesn't matter. Doesn't
Let
matter.
Lante go.
yeah. I think we're witnessing the ascension of Austin Reeves. Like everybody, like we already knew this because we've been watching him, but I think the rest of the league is now on notice. So you remember when he got all those kudos from Ant-Man when they played in the summer league, and then last year, Anthony Davis talked about, man, he the Ooter, he the best shooter on the team. Like, come on, man. The league is now starting to get up to date on what's going on because they don't watch all 82 games like we do. So that's why we don't take the shit when they trying to talk shit about the guys that we watching for 82 games. So the thing is, for me, is just like, man, like he just got to continue to get better. I think when LeBron comes back, we cannot have Austin Reeves be as good, an all-star caliber type player and not be a top 2 seed. So I'm just like, yeah, like let's see what we got. I'm anxious to see LeBron come back. Go ahead, Samurai.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
Austin
Samurai.
Reeves for sure. We've been saying it since before the season started. The individual goal for him should be all-star. You know, not that he needs to do anything to prove it. To me, he's an all-star. Like the production he's putting up, and yeah, like we've all been knowing that. Us three been knowing that. Real Laker heads, supporters, Laker loyalists, Nationals. You know, we've been knowing that. I think not just the league, the whole world is catching up. The whole world is now, because since Austin Reeves came to the Lakers, LeBron has been on the team, and other players. We've had superstars, even towards the end of their career, have been on the team with Austin Reeves. What was it? We had Melo, we had Westbrook, we had other players, can't think right now. So the Austin Reeves has never really had a lot of focus unless you're like one of us, a Laker loyalist who really, like you said, Lante, watch all 82 games. So I'm just happy he's starting to get finally overdue getting his recognition he deserves. And like, if he's not an all-star, like I said, I'm protesting at the commissioner's office.
Not the protest.
Right outside Adam Silver's house.
We pulling up on you, Adam.
Now we pulling up on him, bro. That's crazy. I'm still looking for it, but I will give my commentary kind of while I look at it. I'm trying to multitask.
Absolutely. You got to give it to us. Give us the commentary, Jason. We want to hear it.
Yes,
How do you
sir.
feel about Austin? How do you feel about Austin Reeves?
So first of all, I think that Austin Reeves is ascending. I think that he's doing exactly what I expected given his trend. Every single year he came back, and it was clear that he had worked on his game in the offseason, and it was very clear that he had made a significant leap. And so I am very, very appreciative of that. And I really, really, really love and respect that he's doing that. And for him to step in for LeBron and then Luka as well is just phenomenal. And it translated into wins that otherwise likely would have been losses. And so I'm just really appreciative that he is manifesting his work ethic in that way. And I also appreciate how he's finally in his contract year is starting to get the recognition that a lot of us Laker faithful already were giving him, but he's now getting that respect and that recognition throughout the league. Like, you have to game plan for Austin Reeves. And Also,
Right.
Reeves, even from last year to this year, has made significant gains. He's gotten a little bit stronger, and so that portends well for the playoffs because he underperformed in last year's playoffs. And I was wondering to what extent he's going to bounce back from that. So I'm just enjoying and loving what Reeves is doing. For him to have his career high this year makes sense to me. It's not a plaything to drop 50-plus points in an NBA game when, like, the team's best defenders are playing you and you're roasting them. I mean, barbecue chicken. I mean, doing head face and Nas Reed is flying by and you getting an easy bucket. Like, it's the little crafty stuff that he does is like underestimated because basically he's a white player and he's the white boy that gets stereotypically underestimated. And he even speaks to that. He spoke to, like, growing up, it was just like, oh, I got the white boy. And then his reaction was well, that shit ain't gonna be as easy as you think, bro.
But one of the things I love about you is that you have some shit to you. You did the too small to Pat Bev, the I'm him in that Memphis game that you were talking about, that you referenced earlier. How did you develop that?
I don't know. I mean, honestly think it was almost natural. I played 1 year AAU and I didn't play EYBL. I just played on a hand-picked select team. And I walk on the court and everybody be like, I got the white boy. I'm like, it's going to be hell. Like, I don't know, in 3 possessions, your coach is going to ask someone else to come guard you. And it's been like that since I was in high school. And I always, like I said, I'm just real confident in, the work I put in. Because obviously, that's where it starts.
Like, this white boy right here got game, and I like that attitude.
Right.
But to throw it back to you guys, because I am still looking for this video, and I'm only giving myself like 2 more minutes. Like, I want you guys to speak to, like, what is the most accurate way to describe the ascendance of Austin Reeves? And actually, we're gonna go into a topic we had planned. Is this just another version of Lynn Sanity? Is this Austin Sanity where there's just overhype from the delusional Laker fan base, or is Austin Reeves a legitimate budding star in the NBA? What do you guys think?
Definitely legitimate. Like, I almost feel like it's blasphemous to compare Jeremy Lin to Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves, he's improved every year. Like, every single year since he's been in the league, he's improved. He's not more minutes. All his major statistical categories have all improved. He's gotten better. Like, I'm surprised he didn't get most improved player of the year at some point. He was 6th in voting for 6th man of the year, or 6th or 7th, like either not last year. The last year he didn't start. So 2 years ago. Yeah, he was like 6th or 7th in voting for 6th man of the year. He's improved every single year. This is definitely something that is just from years and years. Even before he was in the NBA, of hard work. We've seen his college highlights. Like, dude was a beast in college. I'm surprised. I still can't believe he went undrafted. That just shows how sports and business and politics, all that, like the politics of sport, can all be tricky. So many great players can be overlooked. But Austin Reeves is him. He is who he is. And I also love the camaraderie and the chemistry between him and Luka. Like, and both the personalities, they know how good they are, but they're also really humble and they talk shit to each other. It's like so good to see. Like, it's so refreshing.
It's like watching an episode. It's like watching a TV show of Step Brothers.
Yeah, thank you. I don't care. No one said we got the best backcourt in the league, and they're 2 white boys. I don't care. Like, we got the best backcourt in the league. I'm not taking any other backcourt.
Hey, you said it. You said this is our best white backcourt since Jerry West and
Gail Goodrich.
Gail Goodrich, yeah, that was you.
This Jerry West, Gail Goodrich 2.0. This is, if you didn't get to see Jerry West and Gail Goodrich in the 60s and 70s, you're seeing it now.
All right, y'all. I finally found the clip. What I found was the full screen version of it. It's not the side-by-side. It's just Bronny. It's just him throwing the lob to Bronny.
I got you.
Yeah. But all right, here we go. So here's the play. This is versus Miami Heat. Go ahead and watch. Here we go. And they're off. Defense to offense. Lob to Bronny. Hey, look at his dad. That's my boy.
That's the first thing I looked at. When I watched that replay, I was zooming in to see LeBron's reaction.
Look at this.
Look at this. I wanted to see.
Look how high he got, too. Head at the rim.
Look at Bron about to jump out and see the first one.
Oh, I love this angle. Look at him.
Yeah, that's a good angle.
Don't tell me Bronny don't deserve to be in the NBA. I want to hear that shit.
That's some bunny. He got some bunnies right there. 6'2".
Bro. Can't tell me that.
Yeah, bro.
Can't tell me. You can't convince me.
And that dovetails to another thing that I actually didn't have on the list that I wanted to talk about, which is Bronny James a legitimate NBA player, or is he just the product of nepotism? Because that is an ongoing debate, and I actually want to like address it because I think it's based in pure LeBron hatred. But what do you guys think? Is there truth to it at all? How do you think Bronny's status in the league is, and what is his ceiling in your opinion?
Right now, I'm loving the way Bronny's playing. Last night, his stat line didn't represent his impact on the game, and I feel that way about him and Marcus Smart last night. And I'm sure we'll get into Marcus Smart a little bit later, but man, like Bronny, bro, like he's great defensively. He can pass the ball. It was a couple times where I felt like he had wide open shots, and I'm like, shoot it, bro. And I'm mad at him because he's not taking wide open shots, but he's making the right plays and he's just a good team guy right now. And I think his ceiling is at least a defensive specialist. Like this guy he can really play defense. He can really get in passing lanes. And as you see, he can get up and he can dunk. He can throw down dunks on fast breaks.
He could be Marcus Smart 2.0.
There you go.
That's his teammate. Yeah.
Yeah.
You learning. He's got, man, the dude has he has everything available to him. His dad is LeBron James. Arguably, no matter how you feel about him, motherfucker, he one of the best players to ever touch a basketball. You know what I'm saying? And then with his teammates, man, going back with Luka, Austin Reeves, Marcus Smart, man, you got so many people that you could take little bits and pieces from to complete your game, and you're with them all season. Just stay at it, bro. Just stay at it, Bronny.
Yep.
You're going to get there, bro. Stay at it.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like, the nepotism as the NBA player, I mean, I feel it's both. Like, you know, as a father myself, like, I'm not mad at what LeBron did to get his son. You know, I would have done the same shit. You know, I've been like, hey, man, you know, people going to be on your head, but you got to play hard. And I feel like Bronny obviously knows that. He's, you know, he's 20, what, 21, 22. Like, he knows all of he sees social media, you know. I mean, he knows more about this shit than we do. I mean, he knows what people are saying. So, but I see that you can see he's putting in the work to get better. Like each summer league, he looked better from last year to this year. He's playing better. Obviously, who knows if he'll ever be the superstar that dad was. I mean, it's probably not gonna happen. But you know, like you just said, Lante, he has potential to be a solid NBA defensive specialist with some offensive game to him. It's funny because we got Marcus Smart, and I see now maybe that's part of why. I mean, you know, Luka wanted Marcus Smart, but maybe it was you know, also like, hey, can you mentor Bronny? You know, maybe that was part of it. So he is developing. Like, the answer is, can you see Bronny? I mean, the question is, can you see Bronny on a different NBA team being on a 15-man roster? The answer is yes, because there are other people on NBA rosters that I see at the same level as Bronny, or not even worse than Bronny. There's a few other players you watch, like when the teams empty their bench, I'm like, oh, Bronny can cover that guy, or Bronny can score on that guy. So as long as he just continues to get better, then everyone will eventually probably not talk about the nepotism. But if he doesn't get better, then for sure that's always going to be a topic.
How you feel about Bronny, Jason?
I am bigger on Bronny than most. Am fair about Bronny, though. So I don't think that Bronny is as good as his dad. I think that that's obvious and objective. I do think that Bronny is a solid basketball player. I think that he has a high IQ along the lines of his dad, who also has a high IQ. I think he's dumb athletic for his height. He's actually like 5 inches or 6 inches shorter than his dad.
Like 6'2", I think.
Yeah, but he's still got hella boosties,
which is short in the NBA.
But
in
he's
NBA
not
it is.
6'2".
But he jumps higher than most 2 guards.
Oh, he's 6'1". 6'1"?
They got him listed at 6'2", but I've seen him in person. I
He's
think he's
like
like
6 feet,
6'4".
6'1".
He's about 6'4".
You
He's
think he's
taller than
taller?
6'4"? Oh, okay.
Shit, I thought he was shorter.
Okay, fair enough. But my point is, he's shorter than his dad significantly by several inches, and I think his athleticism speaks for itself.
The point is, he takes after Savannah.
Well, but I think he takes after his dad in certain ways, but just not in every way.
No, Savannah's great. There's nothing wrong with that.
But I think there's nothing wrong with that. But I think that his ceiling is going to be lower than his dad's ceiling, but it's still going to be good enough to be a solid role player in the NBA. I think that that's in the cards for him, and I think that because of the environment that he's in and the development that he's capable of having, not just from his dad but also from the professionals in the Laker organization, he actually can benefit from that. He's already improved several significantly since he first got in the league. This is year 2 for him, I believe. And so next year would be year 3. And I actually think it's in the cards for him to be as impactful on a game as Max Christie was in his 3rd year. Max Christie didn't become impactful till year 3. I think that that's actually in the cards for Bronny. I think Bronny could be just as impactful on the game as Max Christie. And Max Christie's taller than Bronny. So I'm actually bigger on him. But there is this, the only thing that I agree with that directionally is correct from the haters is that he's not his dad. He'll never be that good, and that's fine, but he can still be a solid player in the NBA. And actually, it's up to him how high he goes or whether he reaches his ceiling. I think that there's still a lot in the cards for him. And I think that the father-son dynamic is also interesting in a way that a lot of the haters roll their eyes around. I think we've never seen this before. And so it's intriguing because it's new and it's different. And some people are just kind of writing it off as a gimmick, but like, I don't think it's a gimmick. Like, I was just as enthused about the Ball brothers all coming to the NBA. And 2 of them made it and the other didn't. And now I have some connections to it, as you guys can see. The alma mater of at least 2 of them was UCLA. And I went to Chino Hills High School, which is the same school all 3 of them graduated from. So I have connections to them.
You're like basically the 4th Ball brother.
Yeah, right. I have connections to them that most people don't have. And so there's a bias there. I won't deny it. But I mean, even with the Holiday brothers, even with the Antetokounmpo brothers, like I think that like families in the league is dope. And so to have a father and a son play together is even more epic to me. Like, can you imagine if Del Curry would have played with Steph? Like, that wasn't possible. Can you imagine that, though? Like, that would have been awesome,
nightmare.
Right? Can you imagine if Gary Payton Jr. played with his dad? Can you, like, pick any father and son?
Nightmare.
That would have been epic. And so now we get to actually see that. Tim Hardaway Jr., Scottie Pippen Jr. Like, we can go all day. Like, my point is, like,
Michael Jordan, Anthony Edwards,
bro. Yeah, right. But we've never seen that.
I thought you were gonna say Marcus. I was like, nah.
LeBron has lasted. LeBron has lasted at a high level so long that we actually now can see this. And so I think that a lot of people's enthusiasm is about the historic nature of it, and they also like legit recognize that Bronny has potential. Like, if you thought that Austin Rivers had potential being Doc Rivers' son in the league, like, why are you hating on Bronny, bro? Like who was available at 55 that was better than Bronny? Like most of the people who hate on Bronny don't even know any of the other players by name who were in that draft,
picks,
bro. They don't know none of them. And like,
half those guys aren't.
Most of them dudes aren't even in the league no more. Most of them aren't even in the league no more. And they definitely haven't improved like Bronny has. So, like, what are you talking about? Bronny's already improved more for us than Jalen Hood-Schifino ever did. The fuck you mean? Why can't Bronny be a Laker? It doesn't make sense to me. So, like, I don't like the haters. But the people who are objective, I feel where you're coming from. You're basically saying all the people who are hyping up Bronny like he's the next LeBron James are wrong. You're right about that. That is ridiculous. But the other end of that is the last time I'm going to repeat it. Bronny's only in the league because of his dad, and his dad's making a clown out of him. That's that Stephen A. Smith take, and that shit is trash. I don't want to hear that shit no more. That's ridiculous. So I'm done with that.
Okay. If Samantha Smith get a show on ESPN, I'm dragging Stephen A. Smith. I'm dragging the fuck out of him.
That's his daughter name? That's his daughter name?
Samantha.
Yeah. And
Samantha get a show, I don't
even want to, bro, I don't even want to do to Stephen A. what he does to other people, because I don't think it's fair to his daughter. His daughter's actually a nice person. He's brought his daughter onto his political show several times. Okay. And he has like a nephew or something that he's brought onto his show. That's nepotism. He's doing the same shit, but he's talking shit about Bronny like it's cool. And then when LeBron confronts his ass, he looks like a punk ass bitch. Then he wants to go back in the media and save face and act like he ain't bitch out when LeBron was standing 2 feet away from him. Like, if LeBron would have hit me, I'd have hit back. Even Bronny James said cap. He just had the little cap emoji, bro. He said that's a cap, because you know good damn well you wasn't swinging on LeBron. Shut up. That 40-year-old would have knocked your ass out. What are you talking about? Sit down. Anyway, as y'all can see, I'm going to show this. This is the Who is number 12. So we're awkwardly transitioning into this. But I want to talk about this because also it's not just Reeves that's ascended. It's a role player in Jake LaRavia that's ascended, and actually a couple other role players that we're going to go into not too long from now. So go ahead and watch this just so you guys can get brought up to speed on what kind of the NBA meme culture is about. Watch how Anthony Edwards responds to a fan's question of who is number 12. Oh, here we go.
I wonder if Ant's giving him the KG treatment over there on the bench.
So there's Anthony Edwards tripping over LaRavia.
Edwards seen enough of it.
Johnny Juzang is enjoying it.
Hey, I gotta watch that again. I'm sorry. That's hilarious to see that shit again.
They just put 20 on your team's head.
But they already enhanced it so you can hear it through the crowd. But here we go.
So I was like,
Gotta get Ant mic'd up.
Oh, that we needed Ant mic'd up for that moment because that was hilarious, bro. If he should have been mic'd up, bro. He said, "That's what I'm saying."
Absolutely.
I don't know. And his whole attitude about it, by the way, is like, "Yo, who the fuck is this dude busting our ass right now? Like, I don't know who the fuck this nigga is."
Right.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, why is this dude balling? But from the point of view of Lakers fans, you love to see it because what this is to us, and it's kind of obvious to anybody paying attention, what this is to us is legit NBA stars are now wondering about some of our lesser named role players, people that they didn't expect to do anything, people that they had a lot of doubts about, people that they were naysaying about in the offseason. Y'all picked up Jake from State Farm. Who is Jake from State Farm? He ain't gonna do shit. And now because he busting your ass on your own home floor, now it's like the fans are even like, who the fuck is this dude? Like,
even a lot of Laker fans.
Even a lot of Laker fans are discovering who Jake LaRavia is.
All I want is you to roll the clip where I said this dude is a baller. This is a good pickup. Like, and my two guys, I know we talk about them later, Nick Smith Jr. and Jake LaRavia. When we got them, I was like, yes, these are great pickups, especially for the amount of money we're paying them. Like Nick Smith is on a two-way, and Jake LaRavia is making like what, $4 million or some shit, $5 million, $6 million a year.
Yeah,
like these were like and when Ant said that, it was funny, but there's no way he does not know who I gotta look it up. I didn't do my research, but I want to look up when Memphis and Sac played Minnesota last year, because that's the two teams Jake was on last year. He was on Memphis for the full year the year before, and then last year was traded to Sac halfway through the season. I'm pretty sure Jake was doing the same shit to Minnesota or other teams, because I followed, I would watch. I told you, like, I learned about who Jake was doing my fantasy league, my NBA, and I saw like he was having good numbers. Other teams were picking him up some nights, and I was like, let me check this dude out. I need a player for this night, and I would see like. I'm like, damn, this dude just got 25. Who the fuck is this? And I would start. Then I'd go and watch highlights of the whole Memphis game or the whole Sacramento game. Well, Memphis at first, and he was a baller. He played a lot because that's when Ja was out a lot, so he got a lot of minutes in Memphis. He's still young. We talked about how he's still younger than Dalton Connect, and he's in his third season already. Yeah, I'm happy for him because I know the first few games were like, people were like, who is this guy? Now he's like damn near almost averaging 20 for like the last 3 games. And Nick Smith. I'm so happy for Nick Smith because I've been a fan of his because I watched him, same thing, when LaMelo was out for half of last season, so he got a lot of playing time because LaMelo was out, so he got to really showcase his skills. Plus, I know we're going into Nick Smith, we're talking with LaRavia, but I just gotta say about Nick Smith, like, that's Mamba mentality. He wore number 8. He came in the league wearing 8 because of Kobe, and now he's on the Lakers. Like, we just, we got all the Mamba mentality. Austin Reeves, Nick Smith. Jake LaRavia from Pasadena, it's the Laker loyalty.
You just made me think of something, and I'm actually like actively trying to find it really fast because I saw it earlier, and I told myself I should save it, bro, and I didn't save it. But there was a meme going around, and it's a side-by-side of the stats so far this year of Jake LaRavia compared to Dorian Finney-Smith. Yeah, I need to find that. I got to find it, bro. Like, I thought I could find it real fast.
All his numbers are
better.
But
I need to find it, bro. It's crazy. All right, so here's a side-by-side comparison, and I checked the stats, and they're actually accurate. This is a comparison of what Dorian was averaging through a full season with the Lakers on $15 million, and what LaRavia is averaging through the first 8 games of this season. Now, the reason why I'm emphasizing that is because objectively, this is not a fair comparison because it's a smaller sample size and it's cherry picking the fact that Jake LaRavia has had a few games where he had 20+ points. And Dorian Finney-Smith wasn't his role to score for us. He had some games where he scored, in the high teens and maybe 20+ or whatever a couple of times. So this is not a fair comparison. But it's
Correct.
getting at something that I think is directionally right, which is that so far, LaRavia has performed better than Dorian Finney-Smith, offensively especially, and has at least, in my opinion, or arguably matched defensively what Dorian does. Now, I actually think you can make a case that Dorian overall was a slightly better, but that's to this point in the season. So through 8 games, I think if you compare Dorian's first 8 games to Jake LaRavia's first 8 games, I think you could make an argument that Dorian Finney-Smith's defense was slightly better. That said, it seems pretty clear that LaRavia offensively is better than Dorian Finney-Smith was for us, and he's cheaper. His percentages are better, his steals per game are better, his assists per game are better, and his rebounds per game are better. Now, again, small sample size. So
I think
take his with a grain
defense,
of salt.
I like Jake's defense overall. Like from the past 2 seasons I've seen him play, he has good defense. The only thing Finney-Smith had over him is Finney's just a little taller, a little longer, and everything. Like I said, like for his contract, like it was a great pickup, and he can go off like with having LeBron and Luka and Austin Reeves out, and him going off, and him going off with both of them, also with Luka and Austin Reeves playing. Like we're not winning a game last year with Luka and LeBron out and Austin Reeves and Finney-Smith like leading the charge. That's not going to happen. So I like Finney-Smith a lot. I would have been happy to resign with him, but getting Jake, LaRavia, and the other guys we got this summer, I'm like, Finney who? I already forgot who he was.
And the thing is about
Right.
Finney-Smith, like at the time, he was monumental for us. We needed him. We didn't have Marcus Smart. So having Dorian Finney-Smith mattered that much more. And there was a big chunk of the season where we didn't even have Vando. So he mattered more. So I'm not going to diminish his value to the team last year. It was a different roster. It was a different context.
He was an important part of the team.
That said, objectively, LaRavia is more offensively gifted than he was.
And LaRavia likes to crash the boards. That's why LaRavia loves to crash the boards.
Dorian crashed the boards too sometimes. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But LaRavia is more offensively engaged and gifted than Dorian, and that's what I expected.
And way younger.
And
way younger too. So you got
way younger. The decade younger. Younger.
He's also got an interesting IQ in terms of his instincts around assists that Dorian didn't have. And I actually appreciate that about him. So I think that he amounts to a better role player for the Lakers so far. Again, I want to emphasize it's a huge grain of salt because of small sample size. I want to be fair to these players. I'm not trying to cook nobody.
That's Pasadena's own Jake LaRavia, born in Pasadena, born in LA. Even though he left, moved to Indiana when he was like 5, he was born here. He was born the year Kobe and Shaq were going back to back. So it's meant to be.
So that's Jake from State Farm. So damn ice cold. Just to wrap this up, do you have any final thoughts about Jake before we move on to the next topic?
I'm just loving all the role guys right now. I got to give it up to Jake LaRavia. I got to give Rui Hachimura some love because me last season he was not my favorite. I got to give DeAndre Ayton some love last night. Having a 29-10 game. I said that's what he needed. That's what we needed from him to win, and he did it. You know what I'm saying?
You was cursing him out the whole game too, though. You was cursing him out the whole way.
I was. If y'all was in the chat room, my bad. But you gotta produce, dog. You gotta produce.
Yeah. Especially you're at Portland. We're the team that bought you out. It's a revenge game.
They bought you out.
You gotta be the best player that day.
They said, I'll pay you to kick rocks. That's just a different type of disrespect. And ultimately, I got to give Marcus Smart some love, bro. Like, his impact on our defense is being shown. The way he communicates on defense, the way he's a guard and he's our defensive anchor. Like, it's crazy. So I can't stress that enough. I'm really
first
liking
8 games. Go ahead.
Highest plus or minus, you about to say?
Y'all know me. The gumbo tasting good. Gumbo tasting good.
What I was gonna add just real quick is through the first 8 games, I done seen him dive on the floor for a loose ball at least 4 times. That's crazy to me. Like he's diving on balls like it's the finals, and that you can't witness that as a teammate and then not step up a little bit. Like I noticed that when he had a couple of like legit plays, Ayton got a little bit after it. Like, all right, now I'm about to play some damn defense, and I'm about to make some
motivated.
Yeah, so it was like that's just infectious, and he does that to a locker room. And that was one of my questions. Is like, is he going to have that impact on the Lakers? I know he can, and he's clearly having it. And it's just like that's exactly what we need, and he makes a huge difference, man. It's not just Vando anymore. It's Vando, him, LaRavia.
Vando got some help. Vando feeling good too. He don't got to be the only defensive stopper.
Luka's getting steals out of nowhere. Like, damn,
Yeah.
okay, Slim Thug, Luka's getting steals now. Austin Reeves
Yeah.
is picking pockets. Like I actually think that LeBron's gonna help us on defense. I think that like LeBron's defense is underrated because everybody expects him to have fallen off. And there's certain things he can't do. He can't sit in the chair and be as agile as Anthony Edwards. But he plays solid, smart defense in ways that helps the team defense
He still always
dynamic.
plays good team.
He
team
does,
D.
and so that's gonna help us as a unit. And then also when it goes from defense to offense, having LeBron directing traffic or running a fast break or running down from Luka directing it to LeBron or whatever, because it doesn't have to be Bron now bringing the ball. It could be Luka, it could be Reeves, it could be Marcus Smart. There's a lot, like Laravia. It could be a lot of different people throwing lobs to LeBron. So like, there's a whole dynamic here that unlocks for us, and I'm excited to see it. But I found the clip. And this is our boy Nick Smith Jr., who we picked up. We picked this dude up. He was a whole ass bucket when he was in Charlotte. And I was actually shocked that they let him go and that we were able to just pick him up on a two-way contract.
We picked him up. They waived him, I think, on the 27th. We signed him on the 28th or the 29th. Rob was like, "Oh, let me pick him up real quick. Oh, you don't want him? Let me get him." Swooped on him.
To this point, he had been a little bit underwhelming to me personally. But last night, he showed me what I always thought he could produce, which is he's a whole ass bucket, bro. And he's one of those guards who it's easy to overlook him at first. He's shifty, he's clever, but when he gets confidence, when he gets going, when he sees his shot falling, watch out, because that dude is a whole ass bucket. And like he was just getting bucket after bucket after bucket after bucket last night. And we needed them buckets, bro, because there was no Reeves, there was no Luka, there was no LeBron. And I was like beside myself watching him ball. So I want to show you guys this clip of him ball. It's about a minute and a half. You guys can feel free to comment as it's playing. Don't feel like you have to wait till it's done. I'm going to turn it down a little bit so we can talk over it. But I want you guys to get a little glimpse of what he did for us last night, starting apparently in the second quarter. So here we go. So see how everybody just forgot about him?
Yeah.
Like he's not in the scouting report. So for him to do that, it's like, damn, it's like one of these role players we didn't expect the ball is balling on him.
Is it going to be more? Looking for three.
It was like dude couldn't miss.
Hey. Get cooked.
Top of the key.
Get cooked.
Freedom to shoot. 7:30 tip. I'll tell you something, Nick Smith.
And we were trying to maintain
this is that
our
run
lead
we had
too.
in the third.
Exactly.
Yeah, we had a run right here.
Exactly.
We started it. He had that jumper. Then he hit
Look
another
how
three after
shifty he
this.
is.
It was a jumper. Boom.
Now he surveys the defense.
And by the way, these are really good defenders that are guarding him. These ain't scrubs. This is Drew
Blazers
Holiday.
have a decent squad.
Yeah, like dude is cooking.
Look, there's the three.
One of the best
Bam.
on-ball defending
Boom.
squads in the NBA right now. They I think they're number one in terms of turning over other teams.
And let fly.
Man.
He about to get another one wide open again.
Yep, then he hit another one. Well, boom. Yeah, that was tough. That was a heat check right there.
Next man up energy right here, bro. So that's Nick Smith Jr. And there's the question about him, and we can keep it brief because we got a couple minutes left in this section. How did that performance epitomize the next man up energy for the Lakers? And what other implications do you guys think that showed for the Lakers' ability to win this year?
Again, another player that I'm happy is getting his recognition. It's only his second year. And another Arkansas boy. Shout out Austin Reeves, Derek Fisher. I guess Lakers got a connection with Arkansas. Yeah, I'm happy for him because I was at last week's game when Portland came here, and we lost. Nick Smith got a lot of playing time too because Luka was out that game, LeBron was out that game. Watching him in person, like he didn't really he missed most of his shots, but just watching him he could get to any spot he wants. He like we said, he's a bucket. He's probably a great one-on-one player in practice. It's just, like I said, glad to see him, do his thing. Today, been seeing a lot of Lou Williams comparisons all over the internet. And, he's just his own game. If I had to pick a player resemblance, I'll say that's a fair comparison. But I just like that he just has his own rhythms, his own movements. He can get to his spots. He's all right on defense. Nothing crazy yet on defense, but like He's still super young. I think maybe him and Bronny, youngest guys on the team.
Now you see why we got rid of the guys that we got rid of to get him. You know what I'm saying? Like this was a pop out game for him. He's on a 2-way contract. So the thing is, for me, I'm like, man, like at some point, we're gonna have to make some decisions because, like, man, like if we're getting production like this without our top 2 players right now, last night, in the case last night, our top 3 players, like it was just like, bro, like I think that, you know what I'm saying, we're one piece away. I think we're one piece away.
I see.
Yeah.
I see people saying
Currently constructed, one piece.
he should be getting Gabe Vincent's minutes now. Everybody's already
Gabe Vincent was
writing
playing
off
great
Gabe
before he
Vincent now.
sprained his ankle, but Gabe was playing really great before he sprained his ankle.
He was playing great, and I don't want to write off Gabe Vincent at all because he's another veteran voice that like Marcus Smart, you know, and the older guys that are important to have in the locker room. But
I just think Gabe Vincent is more consistent. Like Gabe Vincent is more likely to have a game like we saw from Nick Smith Jr. more often or more consistently. So I think that giving them to Gabe Vincent is a little awkward. It really depends on, you know, what percent of Gabe Vincent we're going to get when he comes back, right? And so like if Gabe Vincent is 100%, then I would actually play Gabe Vincent over him. I think Gabe Vincent is more proven. Yeah.
And if you look at the roster construction, like I said, maybe I feel like the team was constructed to have mentors for everyone. Like I said, Marcus Smart, Ani paired together well. Vincent and Nick Smith actually paired together well. Like you got these young guys, Jake LaRavia and I don't know, I can't think of some of him, but you know, well, we got LeBron, you know, that's the veteran for all the wing guys. So yeah, it's just the roster was.
He got some things that
I
he
really
can
like
learn
how
from Rui.
Yeah, Rui.
Yeah,
I'm saying because Rui's still more on the younger side.
Right,
Oh,
but Rui's been killing
Rui's a
it.
vet, but he's still like a young
Rui's
vet.
been killing it in that mid range, man. Like I gotta give him credit. You know what I'm saying?
His
Like
mid-range
his
is crazy. That's Japanese Kawhi. That's young Japanese Kawhi.
I wouldn't go that far. He's Japanese for sure. But
Japanese Kawhi. All right. I wanted to move on to the next topic, and we're going to spend 10 minutes here at least. And that is yesterday was the legendary, awesome Dodgers parade. Now, I'm going to put this on like mute in the background. This is just footage from the video that we did of me kind of covering the parade, but you guys were there, and I want to have
it's a parade
you guys
inside
like
my
really
city.
lay out this story. It's a parade inside my city. Yeah. I know, right?
I was doing the job.
I want to see you guys. Inside my city. I want to hear you guys like detail what it was like to be on the ground as our viewers see the footage that I covered. What was it like? Let's start with you, Egyptian Laker. What was it like being there? Was it as crowded as it looks like on this footage? Did you guys get to see any of the players drive by? Like, what was it like?
It was crowded. I could where I was, you know, it's by 7th and Metro, the subway stop, 7th and Figueroa, basically towards the end of the parade route. I had clear view, you know, but it was crowded. It's like the one thing, you know, I love about championship parades, which we've had so many in LA in my lifetime. That's the one time everyone in LA is like comes together. It's all love, different backgrounds, races, ethnicities, gang members, non-gang members. Like everyone's just happy and love, and everyone's celebrating. You know, the funnest part is like when the parade is over and then everyone's just roaming the streets, like really, you know, just mingling with each other and stuff. Everything's cool until the cops want to show up. You know, everyone's peaceful. Maybe one guy is doing something crazy, but they want to like act like all it was like they say it was about 250,000 people out yesterday. So it's like for that many people to be out and no incidents is amazing. Like for like one person to be doing something stupid out of 250,000 people that doesn't happen in any city. You know, the fact that we won Saturday night and there was not one arrest, and LA's always painted as like the worst city to win a championship. You know, shit does get crazy sometimes, but you know, it's just, I think if you're not from LA and you visit LA, you really want to understand LA, go to a championship parade. We have them all the time. Well, whatever, depending on which team it is, but it was dope. It was great. I loved it. And like I said, it wasn't until the end when the cops wanted to come in and riot gear, and they started to like squeeze everyone in. I was on the block I was on. We were going one direction, hop on the train, and the cops shut down. They were like, "You can't get on the train." And we're like, "Why not?" We're like, "We're just shutting it down." We're like, "The train is still running though." So then we made us go to the other end of the block. We go to the other end of the block on 7th and Flower, and the cops are like in riot gear. They're pushing us back to where we came from. Like, you can't go this way. We're like trapped, like literally trapped. I'm holding my kids. I'm like, where the fuck do we go? And they're like, we're gonna start shooting if you don't. I'm assuming they meant like rubber bullets, but still, that's not cool. And that shit still hurts. And they're like, we're gonna start shooting. You guys don't like get it. Like they were saying, like get in a building. We just you want me to just walk in these buildings that are locked up? Luckily, we were at the Taco Bell cantina. It's on that corner, and they weren't letting nobody in, but they saw me and the family, and they were like, "Oh, you guys can come in." Like it was like we were sheltering, like in a war type shit. It's always like you don't realize it's the cops that make things worse. It's not the people. The cops take shit to a whole nother level. When shit was all peaceful, man. I'm telling you, like people, everyone's showing each other love. That's how Laker parades. That's why I love Laker parades. Like everybody, like, hey, you want something? You want a drink? You want to smoke with us? You want some? Hey, you want to try this? Like, everyone's showing love. You could go find like cool little shirts, selling their little t-shirts, bootleg shit, but it's all like dope shit. They're giving you good prices. Like everyone's showing each other love. It's always the cops that want to make it bad, but it was fun. It was cool. It was no issues. Even though we had to wake up really early and get there, like I loved it. My kids loved it. The family loved it. It was cool. We had a great time.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I'm good. Can y'all see me? I don't see myself on the screen.
Yeah, right.
It was cool. The parade was cool. I wanted to get to the stadium. I was trying to go to the stadium rally. The tickets, I guess the tickets go on sale at noon on Sunday, but I was assuming, okay, just at noon, you go click on the little button and there'll be like a line, but I guess you could have gotten in line earlier. Like you just click on the button on the Dodger website and wait for the tickets, but I did it right at 12. Oh, there he is. And then I didn't get in line for the tickets for like an hour. Hour passed by and the queue finally, got to me, and it was like, oh, would you like to buy a ticket for the rally? And it only let me get one ticket, and I needed to get at least 4.
All right, so this is the part of the footage where you are.
I know that guy.
I had to change your name from Egyptian Laker to Egyptian Dodger because you were dodging out that day, bro.
Rocking, and you were giving Jackie us Robinson jersey.
Yeah, you were bringing the phone real close so you could hear.
Yeah, but, I could. Yeah, because I had my AirPods weren't working. And I don't know if it's because the reception was bad. I was trying to go live the whole parade. Like I couldn't even go online. I couldn't even open an app to like check like anything online. Everything was off, like the reception. Even though it said I had full bars, like it wouldn't let me do anything online. I was trying to send you guys stuff. I was trying to, like I said, go on the live chat. But once, obviously the parade died down, people started to scatter, then I started getting service. So, but then the AirPods weren't working, Bluetooth wasn't working. So that's why I was holding the phone close. I just was hoping that you guys got some footage.
If you can kind of narrate for us what people are seeing and where you were right there, that'd be great, I think.
So that's 7th Street. So that's what, Samurai to 7th, I got to go to 7th Street. But also, that's where the main hub for the LA subway is, 7th and Metro, like all the different lines. So from where I stay, we took the subway there because I didn't want to drive down there and park, so we just took, I forget all the train lines are letters now. They used to be colors, but it's still the gold line to me. So I took the gold line to downtown, got off at 7th and Metro. We could have got off at any other stops because obviously the parade started at Temple and near Grand, went all the way down Grand, and then turned on 7, went up Fig just for like a couple blocks, then hopped on the freeway to go to the state. So I was towards the end. So the parade started at 11. The floats didn't pass us by, or the buses didn't pass us by till around 11:45, 11:50. And it was cool, seeing Magic, with the trophy, or Dave Roberts, and then seeing Magic and the ownership. Snell was funny as hell. He was like doing the 6'7" meme like the whole way down.
Yeah. I
saw that. Like a kid at heart. That's all he was doing the whole way. I'm like, he must have been doing that the whole way because obviously the Dodgers won game 6 and 7. I have a daughter who's in 3rd grade, so that's all she does. That's all I hear her friends talking about. It's funny. So
yeah, I teach at elementary school, and that's just
that's all they do. Yeah, and it's funny.
It's funny.
Like
one of my kids set me up, or he didn't do it on purpose, but I was doing this after school thing, and they had to read, and so one of my kids was like, he didn't want to read that long, so he was like, how much longer we got to read? I was like, oh, just a few more minutes. He was like, how many more minutes? I said, 6, 7. And he goes, 6, 7. I was like, I slept myself.
You know what I love about 6, 7 now? It's that Yamamoto ended up winning game 6 and 7.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I did a remix of Drake's lyrics from Back to Back, and I want to reiterate them now. So it was back to back for the niggas that didn't get the message. Back to back like I'm on the cover of Lethal Weapon. Back to back like the Dodgers win in game 6 and 7. Whoa, hey. funny. And I just thought that was like a fun way to troll Drake, because Drake was trying to act like he'd been a Blue Jays fan. Like, shut up, Drake. Like, you hopped on the bandwagon
that's trendy.
and you still took a L. Shut up.
You might hopped in a basketball game.
The parade was amazing. I caught the tail end of it. I wish I could have been at Dodger Stadium, because the pep rally was more lit than the parade to me from the video that I seen. So man, I'm super excited. This is my third title as a Dodger fan, and I'm on cloud nine right now. I'm on cloud nine. I got many championships with Magic around this motherfucker. My Aces did one, Dodgers did one, my Lakers win. Boy, the Lakers win the title in June. Hey. You gonna have to give me 72 hours.
Yeah. What both? This is a question to both of you guys. What is if you had to put your pulse to the heartbeat of LA in terms of the impact of the Dodgers winning it all on the city of LA? How would you describe what it's like to be in this city after a storied franchise wins a championship? We can start with Samurai.
It was a big. It was a big deal. Especially because LA went through a lot in the beginning of the year, starting with the fires. The Palisades and Altadena, especially because Altadena doesn't get. When you talk about the fires, because that's a predominantly Black community right next to Pasadena. So for Altadena, and then the fires on the Palisades. LA started with a tough year. So I heard a lot of people talk about that, and then everything politically with ICE and all that. It's just a lot of crazy stuff has been happening in LA all year. So I know a lot of people felt like, man, we really needed this. We really, this is a big win, even though we won last year. Remember the last year, the fires hadn't happened yet. ICE weren't raiding LA, yet, even though they have throughout history, but when it was really on the forefront this year. So I know it's a big deal. It's going back to back, no team, none of the 4 professional major sports teams have done that in a while, gone back to back. For baseball, it's been 25 years. Basketball, the Warriors did it, 6 years ago or so, something like that. Not 8 years ago. But it just doesn't happen that often, especially baseball. It's damn near hard to make it to the World Series. I think it's harder than most other sports to even make it to the World Series because, there is no real salary cap. So, it's easy, teams can change all the time. Whereas other sports, your teams kind of roll over and have at least the same core. And the Dodgers have done. The Dodgers have great management. I hate hearing that, Dodgers bought. That shit is played out. It's just all the whiners and crybabies. All your team, 4 or 5 other teams could have had Ohtani. 4 or 5 other teams had the same amount of damn near the same payroll as we did. Blue Jays were not that far off as the same payroll as we did. They were a great team. It was a great World Series. Respected them for playing, but the better team won. I hate hearing, the better team didn't win. No, the better team always wins. The better team always wins. I don't care what your stats are. We made the winning plays in clutch situations, and y'all didn't. Toronto didn't. So, but the pulse, to go back to the question, it's awesome. Everyone is it just makes everybody happier. Everyone's in a better mood, and even certain cops are being nice to people, not the ones in riot gear and doing all that shit, but just I'm at a stop sign, the cops hey, go ahead. I'm like, what the fuck? Usually they'll just run right through it and let it be first. But it's cool. And, and I know we've talked about it before, but I think it definitely puts pressure on the Lakers now, and the Lakers are playing well. They're watching each other, and now it's the same ownership group for sure. Hopefully we keep riding this wave into June, and then again in the Dodgers.
So that leads us to the next. That leads us actually to the next topic, which is we're going to revisit that. Do the Dodgers winning officially put pressure on the Lakers to follow suit this season? So that might, Scott, I want to get you in. Do you think that's the case? Is there now more pressure on the Lakers to win this year because the Dodgers did?
Yes, absolutely. It's more pressure. But the thing is, now we got the same ownership. So we don't have to. Now, I think we can circumvent the cap like the Clippers now. Yeah, we can circumvent the cap like the Clippers and actually win. Yeah. I mean, my thing is just bro, the Dodger parade was super cool. I think there were more people there this year than there were last year. But, bro, Laker parades are just hit different. They just hit different. No, but Laker parades just hit different. Yeah, it's just there have been so many in LA. Last year was the Dodgers' first parade since '88. We didn't have one in 2020 for the Lakers or the Dodgers. So
exactly.
I feel like a lot of people last year got it off with the Dodgers because we hadn't had one since '88. But the Lakers win a championship. with
Yes.
that parade, God, it'd be our first Laker parade since 2010, and motherfuckers was gonna show they ass. Yeah, but I gotta say, like Samurai,
And I want
like
LeBron.
when we were out there, yeah, he has the opportunity to go out like Kershaw.
And I want LeBron to hear this, because LeBron has not had his chance, has not had a parade in LA yet. Like, yeah, we won a championship, but you have not had a championship parade. And I know that whole 2020 team wanted we all wanted it. You know, we made our own little party downtown, all the fans. But yeah, and I hope LeBron's watching the Dodgers, watching Kershaw, watching, you know, this roster of the Lakers, and being like, I want to go out like Kershaw. It would be poetic. We win a championship and then LeBron retires. Not that he, you know, if we win a championship, he might want to play again. You know, fuck it, run it back. But definitely, like we all said, it puts pressure on the Lakers, literally because it's the owner that owns the Dodgers owns the Lakers. So, it's pressure on himself, really. He's like, shit, I want to die now. I got to win with the Lakers. You know, it wasn't like two different ownership groups. Like, oh, okay, they won. Now we got to win. Now it's like, all right, one of my kids did well. Now I need my other kid, my daughter right here got an A plus. I need my other daughter to get an A plus. You know, it's that type of situation. And you know, there's always been a lot of love between the Dodgers and the Lakers. All the Lakers go to Dodgers games, throw out pitches, or watch the games. The Dodger players go to Laker games, watch the games. I'm sure we're gonna see, if not the next Laker home game, there will be Dodgers there. They will do a presentation like your World Series champions, Dodgers. I'm almost positive it'll be the next home game that they'll do like a little spotlight on whoever shows up. Like some of the guys are going to Jimmy Kimmel tonight. I know like Dave Roberts and like 4 of the players are going tonight on Jimmy Kimmel. You know, they'll do their whole little tour. So for sure, next Laker home game, we'll see them, and that's got to definitely inspire the team.
Press
you know,
run.
them be
Come on.
back-to-back champions.
We just watched
Press run.
right, Jason. We just watched one of the greatest World Series in modern history.
Yeah.
I ain't never
That shit.
the emotion of the gameplay, the superstars, like everything. It was big time. It was a box office. This World Series had more views than the Super Bowl. This World Series had more views than this Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Like, this shit was good.
That's true.
It was really good. So to win that, when you win series like that, it makes it a little bit more sweeter. Because I promise you, that was that was one of the best Game 7s in the past 20 years. And y'all were one of them. Go ahead.
Yep.
Yeah. Because you know, in 2010, that's my favorite. You know, that's my favorite Game 7.
Oh yeah, that's me too. I'm right there with you, bro. 2010 Game 7. I rolled my ankle. I was celebrating so hard. I jumped off a table in a bar and rolled my ankle, and I continued jumping all around. I'll never forget that shit.
Not the celebratory injury, bro. That's crazy.
That's how you know shit was crazy. But like you asked before, like
that's how you know you celebrate hard.
Just to touch on this, like even though Lakers and Dodgers are the same city and they support each other, we always talk about who's, you know, the ranking and the hierarchy of sports. I mean, technically right now, Dodgers are number one. They're back-to-back 3 titles in 6 years. Dodgers, of course, you know, if me personally, and I think all of us, like Lakers are my number one team. Like I played basketball. I've watched way more basketball than I have baseball. But I'm not mad. I'm happy the Dodgers are up there because it's still LA, you know. And I love the Dodgers. Watched them since I was a kid as well, just like the Lakers. One of my first clear memories of sports was watching Magic and Kareem, Cooper and Worthy in the Showtime Lakers, and watching that Kirk Gibson home run, you know. So I want to say I got 4. You got 3, I got 4. Combined, we got 7. You know, Jason got 3 too, so that's 10. You know, I'm the elder statesman of the. So I've seen actually 4 Dodger championships, which is amazing. Yeah, and it's crazy. You know, my daughter is only 8, and she's already got 3 Dodger championships under her belt. 2. She got 3. And my son is 4, and he got 2 Dodger championships. So it's like, yeah, it's a city of champions. I have friends from other cities, especially on the East Coast. We always argue who's the real title town. It's like, yeah, we're the title town right now. We got, if we include, you know, Rams as you know, they are a LA team. If we include Major League Soccer as the 5th, you know, sport. What LA's won like 10 championships in the past 5 years. Dodgers won 3. We got the Rams. We got LAFC won in 23 or 22, and then Galaxy. We count the Galaxy. They're in Carson, but it's the LA Galaxy. Won last year, the year before. And then we're not even counting just the people we produce in professional sports, like all the professional athletes that come out of LA and the LA area that go on to win in other cities and other teams.
Yeah. All right. Well, I do want to move on to the next topic, and it's a good one. It is the drama and the saga of Morant.
Ja, where is Ja? My Dave Chappelle.
It's a parade
All
inside
right,
my
so
city.
I want to get into that, and I want to start by showing y'all the videos, the 2 videos that we're going to be talking about.
The
discussing.
Lakers broke Ja Morant. That's how good we are. The Lakers broke Ja Morant. The Lakers
Well, actually, before I
broke
do
Ja.
that, I actually want to show you guys something. So if you guys want to like actually watch this stream, I want to show you guys exactly how to do that. All you got to do is go to our Laker Loyalty channel. You can find it in the link tree in the description below.
Laker Loyalty on all platforms.
On all platforms, especially YouTube. And right here, special episode. We got the Dodgers parade and all of the stuff in the mix right there. Go ahead and smash the like button, share it with your friends, leave a comment, debate any of the commentary that we gave, man. It was actually really fun to do that episode. We usually do them like weekly, but we did a special episode just for that. And this is the kind of content that we're going to actually, just a shameless plug, just a little tease. We're going to start putting that behind our membership tiers. So if you want to subscribe early, you can get in early and you can get special content like that. That's a little shameless plug. That's coming down the pike. But right now, it's totally available on our Laker Loyalty channel. So go ahead and subscribe and click the little bell so that you get notified anytime we drop new content. We're dropping content constantly. All right. Now that we got that out the way, I want to get to the Ja Morant saga because, man, it has been a whole thing. And apparently this is like footage of either them giving Ja Morant a talking to or Ja Morant pissing off the coaches.
Yeah.
All right, so here's them asking Ja, and this is the first interview, and this is going to be another interview when he's talking about he lost his joy. So go ahead and take a listen.
What went wrong for you today?
Go ask the coaching staff.
Do you feel like, there was anything you could do differently, I guess?
You go ask them. They had a whole spiel in here, so.
From the outside, and the outside may be wrong, but from the outside, it didn't look like you had your usual energy tonight.
Go ask the coaching staff why.
Okay. You feel like you should play more?
Go ask the coaching staff. Should I play more or not?
What had been done? What could have been done different to get a different outcome, other than asking the coaching staff?
According to them, probably don't play me. Honestly, that's what basically the message was after. So it's cool.
The coaching staff message was
It's
it?
cool, bro. We good?
You didn't have anything physically wrong in terms of illness or anything?
Oh, no,
you were
I'm
under
good.
the
I'm
weather?
fine.
Okay.
I'm fine.
So just real quick, Ja Morant is kind of, displaying the attitude. He's clearly, being somewhat sarcastic. The coaches had apparently said something to him, and it kind of rubbed him the wrong way. This was the Laker game in which he only had 8 total points, and he was
Lakers
like 3 for 12 from the field or 3 for 15 or something like that. Go ahead and delve into the details that you heard about like what the nature of the interaction between him and the coaching staff was, and was there this call out vibe, like this conversation happened in front of the team, or?
I just saw that clip live. It was they showed it on Prime. That was the night that the Lakers played on Prime. And I happened to catch the post game where they showed that clip. I don't know if it was live, but they had the crew comment on it, and that's when Blake Griffin was like, he was basically, "What the fuck you doing, bro? Like, you shouldn't." He didn't say that, but I'm paraphrasing. He's like, "You don't." He was calling out Ja Morant for his comments. Like, you handle that type of shit privately. Like, don't air that out. In the public with the media. That shit you deal with. Like, you could. And then Ja Morant got fined, I think, the next day. Like that. You have a problem with the coaching staff and the staff. You go deal with them first. And then if the problem doesn't get resolved, then yeah, you can go to the media. That's my personal opinion. But obviously, the Lakers broke Ja. That's all I'm gonna keep saying. The Lakers broke Ja Morant, and he's blaming the coaches. And we may see Ja Morant.
All jokes aside, though, this seems like this has been symptomatic for
I
going
think
on several seasons. It's not like it just started with the Lakers.
Exactly. It seems like Memphis and Ja Morant. It's inevitable they're gonna part ways. I don't think they're gonna fire the coach or get rid of the coach. Because then that's gonna set a standard that in Memphis that I don't think they want. So I think that it just makes sense for Ja Morant to get traded. See what happens.
Okay, and then
I think,
you know, I would love to see things work out. You know, I like John Morant. I like him as a player. You know, it's just he's ever since his, you know, issues, troubles he's had and stuff, like things have just been rocky with him. He's had a lot of injuries. It's just, you know, I like to see him come back. You know, I like see someone with that much talent, you know, have a downfall like this. It's not he's having a downfall, but just could possibly be, you know, it'd be great to see things work out, you know, positively. But as of right now, the word is it's either him or the coach got to go. And they're not going to get rid of the coach. They don't want to trade Jaw, but it might make sense. You know, I think from what I've heard, John Moran is open to a trade. I'm not sure.
Okay. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and play this next clip that I have showing right here. This was either day or two later after the first one, and they're kind of, you know, interviewing him kind of about the dynamic between him and the coaches. And they had, by this time, had a conversation where there was some kind of effort to reconcile things. And this was after his 1 game suspension too. So let's go ahead and see if we could play that.
Joe, were you and the coaching staff able to talk about what happened Friday and move on?
Y'all asked that question to them, huh?
What about for you?
Y'all asked that question, so y'all know the answer to that.
Do you feel like everything's been resolved?
Yeah. They told y'all that, right?
Well, yeah, but we didn't hear it from you.
Obviously, they can't go and tell y'all something I ain't say.
John, when there are other things, I guess, going on, I know you just want to play basketball pretty much, but like when these things are going on, is it any way of distraction for you, like when you get out on the floor?
When you circle back to this homestand, I mean, the games are going to continue to come. You got Houston Wednesday, Dallas Friday, OKC Sunday. Just how important is it to find that rhythm, find those units, find those lineups that you guys can build that continuity with?
Very important, especially if we, you know, want to win games. So.
You feel like you get that same joy right now that we used to seeing from you?
No.
Why not?
What can be done to get it back?
We'll see.
Do you think you have a good relationship with the franchise?
Yeah.
In general?
Yeah. They told y'all that, right?
I didn't say anything about that.
If I had a good relationship, I wouldn't talk to him at all. So. And we had our combos over these.
Do you have any regrets about the way you played on Friday night in the second half?
You said what?
Do you have any regrets about the way you played in the game? I'm not talking about that.
That's your home run question? Sound like a bait question.
All right. Well, what I'll do is I'll kind of give my take.
What's your thoughts, Black Muse?
Yeah. I mean, I think that this does not portend well for the Grizzlies. I think that this is becoming one of those things where it's probably going to be better for them to cut their losses. And that might mean trading him before the trade deadline this season. Once you lose a locker room or lose like a guy in your locker room, what happens is it can fester and it can actually infect the other guys in the locker room and it can undermine things that's going on in that locker room. And so keeping him may be more trouble than what it's worth if it starts to do that. And that he's clearly not opposed in general to kind of like making his frustrations known in the media and being short with the media. Now, to his credit, he did that once. He got suspended, and it doesn't seem like he's been as, you know, rebellious or boisterous as the first time. But he seemed to have a problem with the coach's perspective. That's what I was able to glean just from how he reacted. But apparently, at some point, there was some kind of conversation about it. And then, even though he was kind of short with the media, it seemed like his frustration was more with the media at that point, trying to make a bigger deal out of it than what it is. At least that's what I'm reading from it. All in all, though, I think Ja Morant could benefit from moving on. I don't know if that's what he wants to do, but he could definitely benefit from moving on. The thing is, what teams would be interested in him? I do think he'll have some interest. I don't know that he'll have maximal interest because there is that locker room cancer dynamic that I think a lot of franchises that are well-run are not going to want to get into. I remember that Gilbert Arenas was talking about this, and Gilbert Arenas suggested that the Lakers might want him. They might, I don't know, but it would be expensive though. So if it meant getting rid of valuable players who are not locker room cancers, it would be a dumb decision by Rob Pelinka. Yeah, but if it meant giving up pieces we were willing to give up anyway, it would be intriguing only because there would be a interesting cost-benefit analysis that would kick in my view. And that is the potential for locker room cancer worth the risk of having a player that good on the team? And I actually don't know the answer to that question. So, like, if let's say we can give up like
I
a
do.
Gabe Vincent.
The answer is no.
And a Rui Hachimura.
No.
And maybe one other piece in a first-round pick to get him. It would be, I think, difficult to just flat out say no as easy as you're doing right now, just because Ja Morant is not to be slept on. And so having
No. I love Ja. I'm a big Ja
interesting.
fan. I really like our roster how it is. Only thing I would add is maybe like another center. I like our guards and I like our wings. Maybe another wing. Maybe like a big wing, like a power forward type of player. But like I like Ja. I don't see any reason. Like I said, the chemistry between Austin Reeves and Luka, like Nick Smith is developing. I don't feel like we need another guard. Ronnie.
But Ja Morant is way better than Nick Smith. Like that's not even.
No.
That's not
I'm
even
saying
close.
if we
And better than Gabe
traded.
Vincent.
No. My point is, if we traded for Ja Morant, obviously we'd get rid of like half our team, like important pieces, like Rui, other guys need to make contracts work, and then a first round pick would probably be involved. And then I'm saying we ruin the chemistry, but then the guys we'd probably trade would be like some wings. Unless Reeves, but I don't. We have Luka, so I don't feel we need like another superstar type of guard. Like then it's just gonna like this to me. It's just there's no point. Like I like Luka, Austin Reeves. I love that pairing, and that's what I'm saying. Like to bring another point guard, offensive point guard type of player, I just don't think we need it. Because it's not like and we're getting him for free as a free agent. Yeah, that's a different story. But trading for him and the roster that we put together that's actually working really well right now. Is I don't think works out at all. I saw Alante, shot us a text about him being traded to Atlanta. I've seen that. I've heard that being talked about a lot actually recently. I don't know if Atlanta would do it. Obviously, it would be great for Memphis to trade because it would probably be a Trae Young, Ja Morant swap. But right now, Trae Young is better than Ja Morant in my opinion. And I like both players, but Trae Young is. It's funny, he's the more consistent player now, when I would probably have said that about Ja Morant 2 years ago, that Ja was the more consistent player, but Trae Young has been more consistent. So a trade I saw, I don't know how it would work contract-wise, but I've been seeing a Ja Morant to Boston situation. I don't know if it was just some random person on the internet posting it, but the players involved made actually sense for both teams. I think as much as we can't stand Boston, and especially me personally, I lived out there. I think Ja Morant would be great in Boston. I think it would actually be fucking great. I think it would also be great for the Laker-Celtic rivalry. We got Ja Morant in Boston, Luka in LA. I think it would be amazing. It would be hilarious because you got a white guy in LA and a black guy in Boston. It's usually the roles are reversed. But yeah, I don't know. Like I agree, but I think we all agree that Ja Morant probably needs to change the scenery at this point. He doesn't sound, even after that conversation, he don't sound too happy.
It seems like Alante's of the opinion that Ja Morant needs to be traded to Atlanta. I really wish he was here to elaborate on that. I don't know how that improves Atlanta. If you want to,
I don't know. It would definitely improve
Trae
Memphis
Young backcourt. Like,
if Trae Young,
why would you do? Unless you're going to trade Ja for Trae, is that what he means? Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
No, that's the trade that everyone is talking about. Everyone's talking about that. Like today,
is Ja for Trae?
So with other obviously,
well, I think the Grizzlies win that trade. But who do you think wins that trade? If
that's what I was saying.
For
Memphis would win that trade. I don't think Atlanta would do it, but I don't know who Atlanta would be willing to part with to get Ja Morant. And again, Trae would be. I just like as much as it's the same thing with Luka. Like Luka and Ja as a backcourt. Trae and Ja. Like someone needs the ball. All these players need the ball to be functional, to be their best self. That's why I would say I don't see any point Ja Morant being on the Lakers when we got Luka. And Austin Reeves also is. Even though Austin Reeves can play up the ball, like I don't want to mess up that chemistry. Ja Morant would have to go to another team and then come to the Lakers. Like he'd have to go somewhere else, start fresh, be humble, go play somewhere else, get back to how good he was, and then come to the Lakers. Like I wouldn't want to take Ja right now, just because he's still dealing with whatever shit he's dealing with, and who knows? There could be a lot of other shit going on we don't know about behind closed doors. He might have some personal shit going on. The coaches might have some personal shit going on. They might have personal shit with each other. So it's just some shit. I'm glad it's not happening with the Lakers. And I just want to stick to our chemistry that we have right now.
Atlanta.
Bet. So we got 2 more topics. So let's start with the L&E. Lakers narrative evaluation is we want to keep track of potent, popular narratives that are developing in the Laker world and in the sports world. And one of them is this idea that the Lakers need to go ahead and trade LeBron. And it's something that a lot of people are saying jokingly or disparagingly against LeBron, but there's something that at least a subset of the fan base sincerely means to do. Like they're like sincerely advocating for it. They think that something to the effect of LeBron is in some sense a hindrance to the roster or to the possible success now that we have Luka, or in some senses a diminution to the Lakers' prospects for winning. And so trading him for something of value is a good idea and is a step in the right direction of building towards a future with Luka where you could win a lot easier. Now, I think that narrative in general, and it's an umbrella for a bunch of different specific arguments, but in general, I think that narrative has some issues. And frankly, I think it's dumb as fuck. It makes no fucking sense. But I'm trying to treat it fairly because there are people who sincerely believe that shit. It's weird that people want to trade somebody who in their 41st year, I believe, is still averaging 24 plus points per game, something around 8 assists and like 7 rebounds, or maybe those numbers are reversed, is somebody who's plug and play to the extent that LeBron is even at his age and can complement somebody like Luka, Reeves, and the rest of the role players and actually can maximize and enhance what those role players can do. LeBron's ability to distribute is awesome, and his ability to get Ayton open on lobs, like similar to how Luka does or whatever, is amazing still. And his ability to control opposing defenses and have gravity and draw them away from our role players is still elite. So it's weird to ignore all that and be like, nah, trade him. And expect either something ridiculous in return, like Spider or something, or like a bunch of role players that are supposed to like equate to him in some way. Like somebody suggested trade him to the Cavs. They keep Spider and we get Garland and their big man that used to be on
Jared
Brooklyn.
Allen.
What's his name?
Jared Allen.
Jared Allen. And so, yeah, and they were like, so those are the two that we would get in return for LeBron. And they saw that as a win. Now, that does supercharge our center position for sure. And Darius Garland's not to be snubbed at, like he's, in my opinion, an upgrade scoring wise from Gabe Vincent and Nick Smith Jr. So that's not
I
nothing.
saw him. I think wasn't he All-Star?
Does that equate? Does that equate to LeBron? Because he might have been, I think, at one point. But does that equate to LeBron? Not quite. But he's an aging LeBron, and so that's a step towards building for the future, I guess. Those are both really young players. They could be for your franchise for a while. I guess that's the idea. But are we going to be winning a championship immediately if we make that trade? Probably not. And is LeBron going to go for that trade? Probably not. So, like, what's the point? Like, to me, all of this is ass backwards. But that's my evaluation. I want to know what your evaluation is on this trading LeBron now trade.
Trade. Obviously, we can't trade LeBron unless he wants to be traded. That's the first thing. The second thing is, I'm for trading LeBron if we get someone back, like obviously, and since Alante is not here, probably what he would say is a Giannis. I'm a big we want Giannis to come to LA for a minute. I'm with him on the I want Giannis and Luka. That's like to me like Kobe and Shaq. So if we were able to get someone,
obviously, if we could trade LeBron for Giannis,
if we could get a Giannis, a Wemby, Jokic, top 5 guys in the league, right? One of those. Obviously, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, obviously we would do that. Yeah, it's not going to happen. That's the point.
And I think a lot of people I know a lot of people that want LeBron traded. Obviously, there's the LeBron haters. Like I said again, I'm a fan of. I root for the Lakers, support the Lakers. LeBron's on the Lakers, so I got to support him. But if he was open to being traded and we got something actual value back, yeah, sure, let's do it. I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think anyone like that Cleveland trade. I actually really like Darius Garland. I like Jared Allen. I don't think that's enough. I think Evan Mobley would have to be in that trade, and I don't think Cleveland's gonna let go of Evan Mobley. I've been a big fan of Evan Mobley. USC and LA guy.
And why would LeBron go for that? Player. Like that team's got to be trash.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Exactly. Like, the only thing is like, yeah, he could go back to Cleveland, but I also think he also wants to play with his son. I actually had a.
They would trade his son too.
I have a funny hypothetical situation. What if? Do you think LeBron would be open to being traded to a team that will draft? I can't even say it without laughing. That will draft Bryce and trade Bryce to the Lakers. Basically, would LeBron be willing to sacrifice himself to have both his sons play together? I think that's the only way LeBron would actually be willing to be, if he's like, okay, I can't play with me and my 2 sons. but there's a possibility of Bryce and Bronny being able to be together, but LeBron has to leave. I think that's the only situation. LeBron's like, I gotta sacrifice myself so my sons can play together. Like, I would do some shit like that. Obviously, I'm not in that situation ever been. I know it doesn't make sense, but that's what
That
it
doesn't
does
make
make
sense.
sense. No, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. If the only way, say the Knicks, say it's a destination too that LeBron wants to go to. Say the Knicks end up somehow having a horrible season after today. They go on like a really bad losing streak. They become a lottery team. Let's say Bryce is projected to be like the 8th pick this year, right? And say the Knicks are in line to get the 8th pick, and let's just say LeBron's like, the Knicks are like, hey, we'll trade the 8th pick to the Lakers, but you got to give us LeBron. And and Bronny's like, it's just random shit that goes through my head throughout the day. My whole point is, where LeBron would be open to being traded is if his other son could get to the Lakers. Because as of right now, the Lakers are not drafting Bryce because Bryce is going to be probably a first-round pick, a higher first-round pick, and we're not going to, we're going to end up. I don't think we even have a first-round pick this year, and even if we did, we're not going to have a
But
pick
that doesn't make sense. Like, LeBron's not. First of all, LeBron has so much clout that it would be more effective for him to be on the team.
Of course.
Make that team draft his son like he did.
Is that the
ostensibly
only
with
way?
Lakers.
Is the only way he agrees to being traded is something that benefits his family, whether it's not him. That's my point. Like, if he's not able to, if he knows he's going to be,
I don't think he's going to.
That's like a random far out hypothetical situation. That I'm saying, I don't think he agrees to any trade unless something like that extreme happens.
But LeBron has a status in the league where he doesn't have to stoop to any kind of shenanigans like that. Like, he could just, like, he's one of the best players to ever play the game, and I think he believes that of himself, and he's gonna act like it.
He literally said he was the best player in the world. Like,
is the kind of, I know, but the kind of thing you're describing is not becoming of the best player in the world. Like, if you got clout and motion like that, like, you're not gonna sacrifice yourself in any way.
I've seen crazier shit.
No, this is what I want.
Yeah.
Like a Dom boss, bro. Like that. He's gonna be more like mafia style. Like,
but that's what I'm saying. Like, but
this shit and
other team owners and GMs are still gonna, make things as hard as possible for him and the Lakers.
Yeah, I mean, he'd be. I understand what you're saying, but we're getting off topic. Like,
but anyway, yeah.
The idea is that the Lakers need to like pull the trigger on a trade, which doesn't
back
make
to
sense
more
because
realistic.
LeBron has a fucking no trade clause.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Go back to that. The reality is that he has no trade clause if he agrees to a trade. Like, where the only places he probably would want to be traded to is Cleveland, New York, Miami. I don't know if he go back to Miami. I don't know what his relationship with Pat Riley is anymore. I think it's not that great.
It's terrible. He's not going back to Miami.
Terrible. So it's Cleveland.
That's not an option. Some people said the Warriors with Steph, but that's also a terrible idea because they don't have the money. So like they're gonna have to get away.
They have Jimmy Butler,
Jimmy
which
Butler
is
and
like,
shit. Like, that's not gonna work.
So it's not gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen. Period. But if it's
not gonna work,
were to happen, it's gonna be Cleveland or New York, and neither team is really gonna trade half their roster, or at least their 2 or 3 guys, because they got
all the teams with the most cap space that could absorb him are not gonna. They're not gonna do it.
Trade and LeBron's making what, like 50 plus million this year, and I think that's an issue that a lot of Laker fans who want LeBron traded isn't this. Some people aren't because they hate. I know there's Laker fans who don't hate LeBron. They just like, it's because it's a contract thing. Like, man, he's making this much money. We can have this, and like, it's his last year. Like, usually in the last year of someone's contract is the best time to trade them. But like I said, I don't see it. I don't see it happening. I don't see LeBron being traded. I don't think it's gonna happen at all. I think if anything, the better this team does, the more LeBron's like, I'm definitely not being traded. This is a good team we got right here. So yeah. I gave up on the whole.
Better way to think about it.
Yeah, exactly. I just like, and being the season before the season started. We talked about it more, but now as the team gets better and better, I think it's gonna be like, it's not even gonna be talked about within a month, like social media and pop culture.
Okay, well with that, I'm gonna take this. The Lakers should trade LeBron take, and I'm gonna put it in the trash bin where the trash takes goes because that shit is terrible. It's a dumbass idea. All right, last but not least, this is the last topic. Let's talk about Austin Reeves one more time, but in a slightly different context. Are we witnessing Austin sanity, which is supposed to be the analogy to Linsanity, it first appeared in New York, and then when he came to the Lakers, there was a resurgence of it, particularly because not only are both the Knicks and Lakers fan base full of people who are really overly enthusiastic
LA,
and
New
not
York.
commensurate with the talent level of the player, but also because it implicated the Asian communities in both of these places, and they're really, really, really into what are rare opportunities to have themselves represented on the NBA stage. We have Austin sanity, so it's called, or it's been kind of coined. And so that leads us to an interesting question. Is the enthusiasm behind Austin Reeves so far just another permutation of the kind of Linsanity phenomenon where it's just like, delusional Lakers fans who, many of which are casuals, just being overly excited about a player that they think is better than he really is, or is Austin Reeves genuinely a budding star? And we had mentioned it earlier, but I want to re-ask it in terms of stamping the Austin sanity piece, because I actually think it's a disservice to Austin Reeves to compare him to Jeremy Lin or anyone like that
Blasphemy.
who's like kind of more gimmicky or like hype written. No offense to the player. I liked Jeremy Lin even when he was at Harvard, but he was never the quality of player that Austin Reeves is. But that's my take. What do you think about this kind of Austin sanity phenomenon?
For sure.
Is it a Lin sanity part 2?
Not at all. Austin Reeves deserves to be an all-star this year. Every year he's improved. He's gotten better every year. He's worked at it. He was in the top 6 or 7 for Sixth Man of the Year. The last year he wasn't a starter, like 2 years ago. Just the rest of the world is just now catching up to what we have been witnessing since his rookie year. It's, even though the Lakers are a global brand and usually you think people's lives and where they play would be magnified, but because he's been on a team with LeBron and other big names throughout his career, like Melo's been on the team, Westbrook's been on the team, Anthony Davis has been on the team. But now, because this might be the first time Austin Reeves has started a season without LeBron playing, that people really watching, because now Luka's on the team, but now Luka has had to miss games. So now the focus really has been on Austin Reeves, and he's been stepping up. He's doing what we all know, us three have known him to be able to do. We've seen him throughout his career since he was a rookie, hitting game winners, being clutch in the last minute. So this is definitely well deserved. Like, again, Austin Reeves needs to be an all-star this year, or I'm protesting outside Adam Silver's house, office, everywhere he's at. I don't care if he's not in charge of the voting. I'm still protesting because I don't like Adam Silver anyway. But yeah, Austin Reeves definitely deserves to be an all-star, and is definitely overdue the love he's getting right now. It's way, way overdue, and at least I'm glad people are finally catching up and getting the recognition. He's getting the recognition he deserves. How do you feel about it?
And I couldn't agree with you more. I think that it's I agree. But I was gonna say I couldn't agree more. I agree wholeheartedly with pretty much everything that you said. I don't think that it's hype. I think that actually does a disservice to what's actually happening. I think that his stats are just far way and above anything Jeremy Lin was ever able to produce. And he's just now kind of ascending into his prime. I think that the way that he is become kind of an unstoppable guard in the league to this point, Jeremy Lin never amassed that.
Yeah.
And so the enthusiasm is warranted in a way with Reeves that it wasn't warranted with Jeremy Lin. So I just think that there's a night and day difference in caliber of player. And I do think that there is this like dynamic of, because he's white, that people are underestimating him.
Of course.
Because white players at that position don't typically excel to the degree that he's been able to excel. There are very rare counterexamples. You got the European players like Jokic and Luka, and even their style of play is actually like not the same as like Austin Reeves. Like Austin Reeves is kind of herky jerky and clever in a way that we expect more from our black guards.
Yeah, Austin Reeves is athletic.
So
he's
I think
more
that's
athletic
one
than
of
he
the
looks.
I think that's one of the reasons why he's being underestimated.
And also he is
and so
he is the resurgence of the American white boy, because most of the great white players in the NBA recently have all been European. So the fact that it's like a homegrown, white American player is like, it's also added to it. It's, you got Cooper Flag. It's like there's like a resurgence of like American white players, because it's like the Europeans took over. Even a lot of players are from other countries now. So that's why I think that's added to Austin Reeves, the popularity and love for him from the casual fan or the non-Laker fan. Like, oh, got a homegrown
Yeah, I
from
mean, and I
Arkansas.
mean, even from like the typical fan of color, like
Yeah.
there's a novelty to it because we don't get like homegrown
Yeah.
white players that can ball like that. So it's kind of like there's this dynamic kind of in the hood
Exactly.
where it's like, man, that's a bad white boy right there, and it's like it's basically a way of it's our culturally salient way of signaling like we don't
Exactly.
typically see that from
Yeah.
where we're from, of somebody who can ball with us. But like when we get that, it's like, oh, like we appreciate you. You know what I mean? Like, and so he would be, I guess he would be equivalent to like Channing Tatum's character in Coach Carter, like that random white boy that's in the hood that balls with you.
And it's crazy because Austin
He'd be
Reeves,
somebody like that. But
even when you look
yeah.
at him, like he doesn't look the most athletic, not because he's white. Like he's not super cut, like, but he's not like chubby. He just like is like a regular build, but he's super athletic. And then he's got like, he lets his hair grow out. Luka was making fun of him for not cutting his hair all summer. He has farmer tans. He's just like a regular dude, like a regular white boy. He like, because there's white dudes in the league, like you look at Pritchard. Like Pritchard is like kind of cut, has a shaved head, like okay, this dude plays sports. You look at Austin Reeves. You saw Austin Reeves on the street, you just think he was like an accountant or some shit, which makes it even more funny. And he knows that too about himself. He even knows that. And one thing we gotta bring up, Kobe. Kobe would love Austin Reeves. I just feel like Kobe was here. Kobe would be like his biggest fan. I just feel like he would, and the fact that was Austin Reeves, player he loved watching growing up and mimicked a lot of his game after. That's another reason we wish Kobe was here, because Kobe would be so happy to watching this guy.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Hey, man, so that about does it. We're going to wrap it out, and I'm going to use you for the tagline. But before we get to the tagline, I want to thank everybody for watching. If you liked what you saw, go ahead, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, share with all your friends, and we want to see you leave comments down below. Join the debate. We're building the community up. This is Laker Loyalty. We are loyal to the soil. LA till I die. And what's the tagline, Samurai?
Can't spell loyalty without the L-A-L.
Y'all, be easy. Peace.
Thank y'all for tuning in. Peace.